Hey, what is up guys, and welcome for a new Outriders video. And today we are looking at one of the new armor sets for Technomancer that came with the Worldslayer update, and that is the Flame Leper set. This set is pretty much just inflicting toxic on an enemy 3 times to then change it into Blightfire, which then will deal even more damage over time. I wasn't really sure if this was going to be strong enough to take on the hordes of enemies we face, especially since now with the Apocalypse tiers, the enemies have millions and millions of health. Will a build focused around dot damage from status effects even be viable? And I gotta say that this set, and in particular the Blightfire status effect, really exceeded my expectations. I was in no way expecting that the dot damage from the Blightfire to hit millions and millions of damage. I was thinking maybe it would hit a few 100,000, but it's going for far greater than that. And I'm only on Apocalypse tier 25. I'm sure when we reach the higher levels, the tick damage number will increase even further. When starting off with the build, I was hitting around 1 to 2 million dot damage, and now I'm hitting upwards towards 2 to 4 million as my build keeps getting newer and better items. So this build is focused on using your Blighter turret, the Blighter rounds, and the Shrapnel grenade. The Blighter turret works extremely well as you can inflict toxic to all enemies easily with this, as well as getting anomaly power bonuses from our skill tree. We then use the Blighter rounds to deal toxic with our weapons. And thanks to some of the new tier 3 mods, it will gain even more benefits from added anomaly power during the duration of the skill. Mods such as the Alchemy Mastery and To the Bone will increase both your anomaly power as well as your anomaly damage, which is basically the mods from your weapons. Everything you do will get a big damage boost while your blighted rounds are active. One problem I had with this build initially is the fact that you cannot actually regen your ammo during your blighted rounds. If you use mods like the Toxic Lead or the Trick Up the Sleeve, they will not work as you won't actually be getting killing shots, as it's the status effect that's actually killing the enemies and not your bullets. Also another reason why the Toxic Lead, the Euthanizer or the Radical Therapy will not work for this build, and that is because whenever you hit the enemies with toxic 3 times, they will actually get the toxic status wiped off and be inflicted with Blightfire instead, so those status damage bonuses will not work. So in order to keep regenerating our ammo so that we can keep up the Blighter rounds all the time, is by going into a packs tree and we use the skill Lead Seeker. Now this skill will allow your turrets, which in our case is the Blighter turret, will regen 30% of our ammo and get 20% increased damage for 5 seconds. So it'll be the only way for us to regen ammo and have the Blighter round skill active all the time. Also going down the bottom in our packs tree will mean that we get a lot of survivability. Every 5% of our missing health will increase our weapon and skill leech. The higher our skill leech, the higher our anomaly power will be thanks to our override skill. Then we also have our turrets that will pulse every 5 seconds, healing us as well as removing negative statuses, which is just good to have. This is mostly all the survivability we need for this build, as we can then focus our mods and gear to get as much damage as we can. In the main skill tree, we are going fully down the bottom tree to get as much anomaly power as we can, cause remember this is an anomaly focused build. Even though we are using guns and blighted rounds, we don't need firepower at all, since dot damage is based off of your anomaly power as well as the status power. We use the Shrapnel grenade so we can make use of the Tick Bond skill, which will give us 50% bonus anomaly power whenever we use our ordnance skill. And since the Shrapnel grenade is only on a 6-second cooldown, you should pretty much have this bonus up all the time. We use the Adrenalizing Antenna to get more anomaly power when we throw down our Blighted turret. Then we also move up to get Exposing Toxin so that we can inflict vulnerable whenever we hit an enemies with toxic. For the weapons, you could run anything you want, literally anything you want. Any of the best weapons you have with the mods that you like, you could go with those. You could use snipers, shotguns, assault rifles, SMGs, or even pistols. Whatever weapon you have that has the best mods like the Volcanic Rupture, Firestorm, Storm Whip, anything you prefer really. I got through the whole tarya run using only my pistols, cause remember this build is only focused on you hitting the enemies with toxic with your blighted rounds. What weapons you use is totally up to you. The only mods I would recommend that you add to your weapons is the new Mage's Rage, which comes on the final penance. It's by far the best mod for anomaly builds, as it will increase your anomaly power by 10% on critical hits with a max of 40%. So if you don't have this mod, then I really suggest you try and get your hands on it. One thing you would want on your weapon is armor pierce and also status power as well, as we will be using a mod that will increase our resistance piercing based on our armor piercing value. Some of the weapons that I know that have these stats are the Hellborn, the Charred Lance, and the Hare of the Desert. They all come with armor piercing as well as status power. If you're wondering which pistol I used to clear the expeditions and tarya gratar, it was the Bolt and Thunder, which has the String Gauss mod and the dimensional rockets. Then I just added in the Mage's Rage. For our gear, we will be running the Flame Leaper's headpiece, the body and the pants, as the other ones that will come with anomaly power, status power as well as cooldown reduction. For the headpiece, we keep the Alchemical Mastery for the anomaly power, and I swapped out the second mod for the Anomaly Echo. So every time we use our skill, we will get a bonus 90k anomaly power. Then the Danger Close mod is also good, as it does boost your anomaly power with each enemy in close range. It's not as great as we won't let enemies get too close to us anyway, but it's still not bad to have, especially in fights with bosses. The chest piece I have isn't really that great as well, as we don't have any use of the spare mag, as we will be constantly regenerating our ammo from our turrets. But the third mod is alright for giving us some more armor and resistance. We changed the first mod slot for Elite Hunter for more damage to elites. For the pants, it's also not that bad. The Virulent Compound will allow us to deal 10% more damage to elites and spread the Blight Fire when they are killed. I then added in Splash Boost, which will increase the splash damage radius. This is actually a really good mod to have, as this will increase the splash damage radius that your blighter rounds will shoot in. So you can just focus on hitting one enemy, and since the splash damage will also inflict toxic on the enemies, that means all the surrounding enemies will get inflicted with blight fire as well. This is how we are able to kill multiple enemies really quickly and get those fast clear speeds. Freezing Boost is not so bad, as the final pendants I had did come with ultimate freezing bullets. The epic gloves that I used are not the best as well. It's good because it has the Arms and Anomaly mod, which will increase our anomaly power on crits. Another mod that I just added to this piece is the Power Assimilation. This will increase our anomaly power by 60k per elite on the battlefield. This is a great mod, as sometimes, like the Expedition Frontline, spawn a huge number of elites at once. Having 3 to 4 elites on the map will easily boost your anomaly power by around 200,000, so this is a great mod to add. For the boots, this also could be a little bit better. I'm using the Plague Sales boots, which has the increased damage on the blighted turrets, which is alright. We don't really need damage increases, as the only use for a turret is to inflict toxic 3 times and get the enemies inflicted with blight fire. I used this because of the third mod, Unstoppable Force, which will increase our anomaly power by 50% of our resistance piercing. And we pair that with our second mod, No Resistance Against the Fortified, which in my opinion is the best mod to pair it with Unstoppable Force, as it will increase your resistance piercing by 100% based on our armor piercing value. This is the reason why we would want our weapon with armor piercing, as it will increase our resistance piercing as well as giving us additional anomaly power. And here's a quick look at our ascension points. As of right now, I've just gone fully into anomaly to get as much bonus as we can. Now it is difficult to get the exact items that I'm showing you, as the third mod is RNG, but if you do have the mods somewhat similar to mine, you should be all good to go. This build is just as strong as your anomaly turret build, but however you have a lot more control and freedom with this build. You can target exactly where you want and who you want to attack first, rather than your turrets that just attack anything they want to target. This build is also a lot easier to set up than your turret build as well. To make the most of the turret build, you really need to have the headpiece, the pants and the chest to really increase the damage and output from your turrets. From this, even if you have just the boots, gloves or any other piece, you will still do tremendously well. This build really excels at expeditions and even tarya gratar. You can get really fast clear speeds, as you will be just attacking the enemies a few times and then just forgetting about them. Once you see the blight fire on them, there is no need to attack them again, as the blight fire will kill them. It doesn't have the fastest boss kills, but you can still do it nonetheless. That's probably the only downside, is that it can't kill the bosses, like the abattoirs, as quickly as something like your minigun or your turrets. I still really enjoyed this build though. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and it does have a lot of potential to be even stronger with the correct items. I hope you guys enjoyed the build. What do you guys think of the new Blightfire status and the Flame Leaper armor set in general? Are you gonna try it out? Let me know. I would love to hear from you all. I will catch you all in the next video.